Hey y'all, welcome back to my garden. If you're new here, I'm Martisa, and this is the August garden tour. And I'm gonna tell you, this right here is about to be a honest look at the August garden. So let's get into it. If you're new to me and my channel, I garden on a Chicago balcony in zone 6B, and I also have a community garden plot that I also garden at that is about a few blocks away. So we'll look at both of those. Right now we are out here on my back porch. My back porch is north facing. During the morning it gets full sun for just about most of this garden, like everything from where I'm standing up. Now that the season is changing and the position of the sun is changing, it's not getting this kind of afternoon sun, but the sun should come back out as it goes down. It's 3:20 right now, so this is a new part of the season where it's not getting sun right now. But anyway, let us start at the grow pots that are right behind you. My pup is out here today. Usually I leave him inside when I do these garden tours, but he also gets very upset when I do that, so we're gonna try it. Say hello to Mr. Indy. Okay, so over here, what we've got going on over here is we've got some mint, mojito mint, that usually I leave my mint in this little pot here. It is growing outside of the balcony along with my cucumber plant that is back here. It has seen better days. There is definitely some, what's that called, powdery mildew on the leaves. I might give it a little treatment because mostly from a standpoint of I don't want it to spread to my other plants, but it has been the wettest, rainiest, stormiest summer we have had here in Chicago. And so everything is that's having an effect on almost everything. For the cucumbers, it is that we got a little powdery mildew. Yesterday was so hilarious because we were out here and I was like, let me just see if there's any cucumbers that I can't like readily see or get to. And I found this almost 2-pound cucumber hanging on the outside of the balcony. And then a few moments later, a neighbor of ours came out and was like, hey, there is a cucumber, a big cucumber on the other side, kind of behind this gutter over here. It was also almost a 2-pound cucumber. So I brought in like 3, almost 4 pounds of cucumbers just from 2 cucumbers that got left and forgotten that was hanging out on the other side of that balcony. So this year has been an incredible cucumber year. Even if these plants are starting to struggle, we have gotten so much. I've already fermented 2 jars of pickles, and it looks like there are more flowers and a couple of baby cucumbers on this plant as well. And then here is a raspberry. This is a heritage, I'm pretty sure that's the varietal, a heritage raspberry. These raspberries are starting to get long, which I'm super excited about. This is my first year growing them. And so no fruit or signs of fruit yet, but just first year growth on it that I'm excited about. And then I'll bring you in a little bit closer. And then in this pot on this side, excuse me, boo, excuse me. Can we show them our pots? Thank you. We have a Paul Robeson tomato back here that is getting unruly. So I have stakes for my indeterminate tomatoes. They are all staked up, but with all of the wind, I mean, we had quite literally had tornadoes in the area. So the wind has been insanity. My supports for my indeterminate tomatoes are failing. And when I tell you, I'm gonna show you what the community garden look like because it looks wild. My supports have completely fallen, but I'll show you that in a little bit. But here is not so bad, but everything is kind of just leaning in this way that's maybe not useful. But we do have fruit on this plant, which I am excited about. So we've got some pretty big sized fruits. It looks like in the wind, this branch broke. I don't know if you can see that right here, but the fruit is still ripening. a squirrel tried to bite into this one. But yeah, the fruit's still ripening. We've got more fruit up here, some decent sized tomatoes. And then there's even more at the top of this plant. See if you can see. We've got a couple of more fruits here as well. So all in all, it's producing. It's on the lean, but it's producing. There's also a tulsi plant that I let go to flower down here because the bumblebees have really enjoyed all of the flowers that are in the garden this year. In this back corner, honest look at the garden, we've got a black beauty zucchini or dark beauty zucchini, I can't remember the name of it, that is getting pulled out. That is on its last leg. The zucchinis, we harvested a couple of them, but they would get really big on one end and not on the other. They seem to be pollinated, but it would just seem kind of strange. We ate them. We just cut off the kind of weird part and ate them. They were fine, but we're not a huge fan of zucchini, so I'm not actually sure if zucchini is something that I'm going to continue to grow and give more space to things that we love, you know? And then onto this pot. This is our Hill Country red okra. It is getting bigger and bigger. This okra is as tall as me at this point. So it has continued to get larger and larger. We have harvested a decent amount of okra off this. Now, one thing about okra, this is my first year growing it successfully. I've been getting like one a day, it's like honestly like maybe 1 or 2 a week, which is cool. I've been like cutting them in half, put them in the freezer, and then at the end of the season, hopefully I'll have enough for one meal. But that's one of the funny parts about gardening to me, especially in small space gardening, is that sometimes you'll just get like one of a thing at a time. And if you just want to snack on it, cool. But if you want an actual meal, you might want to have to get your preserving skills up. And then in the back here, we have one of our GreenStalks. This is the GreenStalk with all of the herbs and the lettuce. Now, all the lettuce is done. It has been pulled out, but the kale is still going strong. We have Mars kale here. It's this gorgeous black varietal kale. I think it's stunning. We have this blue curly kale. This one I have struggled with. It gets powdery mildew really bad. I actually think I'm going to start pulling them. They look a little worse for the wear as well, and we haven't really been eating it. And then we have some Laciano kale here, dinosaur kale. And then I threw a couple of seeds, kale seeds, in this tier that I am looking for a kind of fall harvest on that kale. We've still got some beautiful parsley. This cilantro has seen better days. You can see it has like these little spots on them. I'm not sure what that is. If you know what that is, let me know. This thyme has completely burst. It just looks so big and lush and beautiful. Also, I grabbed this at the beginning of the season. It looks kind of spindly on here, but I grabbed this chamomile plant from Home Depot at the beginning of the season. And when I tell you, I have gotten so much chamomile off this one plant, and I thought it had died back completely. I thought we were like done. I think I even mentioned that in a video earlier, but all of a sudden it started coming back, like full flushes of flowers. And now I'm back to every day coming out here and harvesting chamomile, which is really cool because it'll be nice for the winter teas. And then the last thing I want to show you in this GreenStalk is kind of cool, is I have a volunteer tomato plant with flowers on it. This thing popped up and I noticed it and I just let it. It was popped up in, there was something in there. I think it was like some lettuce or something, but once I pulled the lettuce, I left that in there, and it has blooms on them, like a lot of blooms. So I'm super excited to see what becomes of that if we end up getting fruit off of that volunteer. It's mid-August now, so we'll see. If it's one of the micro dwarfs, we will probably be okay, but it's strange because it's not behaving like a micro dwarf. It's a little bit larger, but we'll see. We'll see. Maybe it was cross-pollinated and something else. So I don't know. Let's move on to our raised bed. Okay, friends. So this is where I'm not gonna say stuff starts to go left, because it really doesn't, not quite yet. But this marigold bush, which I've absolutely loved, I started this from seed. I'll have to figure out what the name of it is, because I don't remember the varietal, but I'll find it out and I'll put it on this screen. But the wind, the tornado winds kind of pushed everything over. So this marigold is pushed over. There is an orange cream tomato back here that supports have just fallen. And then I have a Tasmanian chocolate back here. It's doing pretty okay. It's pretty sturdy, but it's kind of on a lean as well. So these two tomatoes are dwarf tomatoes. I don't know if they're indeterminate or determinate, but they're dwarf tomatoes, so they're supposed to stay around 3 feet. The Tasmanian chocolate I have gotten fruit off of. They have been nice size, maybe about this large fruit, and they get like a really deep chocolatey red, which I think is beautiful. The taste is really savory. I love them. I think that I will continue to grow Tasmanian chocolate. Now this cream, orange cream, has not produced anything. I had the worst blossom drop on these plants. When it started getting super, super hot outside, those blossoms were dropping super bad. Everything was dropping blossoms, but that one specifically was dropping really bad. So we just now are starting to get some fruit on there. I don't know if we're gonna be able to harvest fruit off of it, but we will see. In front is a mammoth basil that I have been harvesting and eating off of. And then something I'm super excited is our Kazakh melon. We have 2 melons that are produced, and they are looking good. They haven't ripened yet, but let me bring you in so you can see the Kazakh melons, and then I'll show you the tomatoes. Look at these gorgeous, gorgeous girls. Ah, there's one. It's starting to yellow. I'm assuming that's a good thing. I'm assuming it's gonna start turning and ripening. And here is the second one. Super excited. I had a bunch that were like there and then just kind of shriveled up. There's one back here. I don't know if you can see that's yellow. Here's another one right there. I don't know if that's gonna do something or not, but either way, we got 2 Kazakh melons, which I'm very excited about. Here's a close-up of these gorgeous marigold. I mean, this thing just took over the space, which I loved. It was beautiful, and it created a little bit of protection from squirrels. And then back in here, this is that orange cream. See, we have some tomatoes that are growing. There's a lot of flowers at the top there. We'll see if we end up getting some fruit off of this. And then the Tasmanian chocolate has fruit that has not ripened yet. I just took a tomato that was ripened on it the other day. Oh, it's one in here that's blushing. So good. So it's a bit of a jungle in there. And then the last tomato that's in this bed is a pink panther tomato. I think they are so pretty, and they're really fruity and tasty. They have this like oblong shape. However, these tomatoes, as yummy as they are, have the worst splitting of any of the tomatoes in my garden. So obviously I said we've gotten a lot of rain, like record rains this summer. But my other tomatoes, like some of them I did have some splitting here and there, but this one, every single one split. And by the time they ripened, they were full of bugs. Like, let me show you, because I've put them out for, I have kind of just been sitting them right here. All of those split, filled with bugs. Unfortunately, I don't have any chickens to give it to. Look at that gorgeous little bee. So I don't have any chickens to give them to, so they, as of right now, are sitting on the ledge because the squirrel has made its way back and is wrecking a little bit of havoc. Got into some cucumbers, got into one of those tomatoes already, all of that. So I've kind of just been leaving them there because I'm like, if you see there's easy food, maybe you'll just go ahead and get to that rather than my other stuff that I actually want to eat. So I will let you know how that goes. And if y'all have any advice on how to protect your garden from squirrels, please let me know, because just short of covering everything, I'm out of ideas. But yeah, anyway, the pink panthers, I will not be growing those again. They're very cute, kind of very like novel, but the splitting is bad. Like, they've been pretty prolific, but not massively so. They're kind of an interesting shape where they're too big to just kind of like slice in half and throw into a salad, but they're not big enough to like slice into a sandwich or something like that. So you kind of have to do something very specific with them or really chop them up. All is fine to do. I just don't think I will use my gardening space, my very limited gardening space, for those next year. But they were fun. On this other side of the bed, we have our peppers. So in the front, we have 2 shishito plants. This is our third flush of shishito peppers that are here. I've been super happy with our shishito harvest. So many shishitos, and they are super tasty. And then in the back here, we have our Sugar Rush peach pepper that is starting to get ripen, which I'm super excited about. My intention with this Sugar Rush peach is to do a couple of things. One, last year I made this like spicy peach pepper margarita that was so good. I'm actually gonna be making that this weekend, and we have some family coming in and I'm gonna make it for them. And then I also want to can up some Sugar Rush peach pepper hot sauce. I think that would be good, and maybe do a peach Sugar Rush peach pepper hot sauce kind of vibe. So we'll see. But I only grew that one plant. That's intentional because, one, I don't know if you can see, but it is very, very bogged down with fruit. There are all kinds of peppers in there. And it takes quite a minute for it to get ripe, because you want them, they'll be this kind of yellowish color, and then they will continue to get oranger and oranger, which is when you want them. So that's that. In the back here, we have a very small Jimmy Nardello that is now starting to ripen its fruit. Once I take these off, this plant is coming out. And on the right here, we have a jalapeno. We've got one jalapeno. I've harvested a bunch off of here, and it looks like we've got some like flowers. So we might get another flush of jalapenos, which is exciting. We have our second cucumbers, another cucumber that has been producing really, really well. It's looking pretty good. There's quite a nice sized little cucumber here. And then let's get into the realness of the August garden. One, this tomato plant has completely escaped every last bit of its support, and I have to figure out what I'm going to do about it because it is blocking my way to get over to the GreenStalks. And it's really difficult because our grill is right here, which we use very often, and we absolutely love this grill. It's an Oklahoma Joe smoker. It has one side is a gas, one side is charcoal, and we have like a smoker on the end there. Love, love, love that thing. But this mess makes it very difficult to get to that grill. So I'm gonna have to figure something out there. We do have some ripening fruit, which is exciting, and a whole lot. I mean, it feels like this thing kind of just burst out of nowhere. Just so many tresses of fruits. We've got some that are ripe, but this one also has been having a decent amount of splitting. Not horribly so. Ooh, dropping stuff. But like you see there, hold on, let me see if I can get it better. But if you can see with this one, it is so poorly split open, and then there is a bug in there. I don't think you can really see it. But yeah, at that point, it's not edible. If we had chickens, then they would have a great little snack, but we do not because we live on a Chicago balcony. So, no, we don't live on a Chicago balcony. I garden on a Chicago balcony. But yeah, so anyway, this plant is an Isis candy is what it's called. It's a later varietal it is a later varietal of tomato. I mean, it's August and it's just now really putting on a lot of fruit. So I think that's another one that's probably not going to have space in my garden. Honestly, next year, I don't think any of the indeterminate, tall, big, indeterminate tomatoes are going to have space in my garden. I think that it's really too hard for me with the wind to keep them properly staked. And I think that I might actually get better yields if I just focus on dwarf or compact tomato plants. That's what I'm thinking now. That's what I'm thinking now about next year. Down here in this jungle, we have a very much struggling basil plant and another one of those gorgeous marigolds that has absolutely fallen over. Hi, Indy. You want to show the folks our garden? Oh, nope, no kisses. Thank you. Okay, goodbye. So this could use some help. This could absolutely use some help. Oh, I just found another one of those tomatoes that have been so poorly split. Let me show you. This is what I'm talking about. That splitting is wild. And it's like rotting. Yeah. Pink Panther, she's real cute, but she is not gonna have another spot in my garden. Right, now let's try and make our way over to the GreenStalks. These GreenStalks, well, the tomato GreenStalk is starting, the microdwarf tomato GreenStalk. Almost all of it is about to get pulled. It is time for the fall garden, so this is gonna have to go. So this is the microdwarf tomato GreenStalk. It produced so many amazing tomatoes this summer. Like, I was so happy and proud of this GreenStalk, but it is on the other side of glory at this point. I have gotten so many zinnias out of this GreenStalk. We have harvested collard greens off of this GreenStalk. Some peppers, but I don't think I'm gonna do some peppers next year in the GreenStalk. I think I'm just gonna leave peppers in the garden bed. But all in all, super happy, super happy with this green stalk, but it is time to turn it over for fall. Let me show you. So we've got still really beautiful collard greens, like just massive, stunning collard greens. I'm actually going to probably harvest maybe just about all of these for dinner tonight. But if you look in a little closer, you can see where we've got just dead, completely dead tomato plants. So these are getting pulled out. The zinnias are still looking good, but the squirrels are eating my zinnias now. They will jump up in the top of the green stalk and just munch away. I had been keeping the flowers on the plants for the bees, and I had a hummingbird that was coming by and eating from them. So I was keeping them for those reasons. I still might keep this one that is in the strawberry green stalk because it doesn't seem like the squirrel can really get to that. But I think everything that was in this tomato, micro dwarf tomato green stalk is probably gonna come out, even though it looks good. I mean, this zinnia, how gorgeous is she? I love this orangey red color. I got a seed packet from Botanical Interest. That's where these came from. And it was just their cut and come again packet. So it was like a mix of things. So I don't know exactly what varietal that kind of orangey red is, but it's so pretty to me. I love these like pink ones too, but that orangey red is just stunning. We've got some Jimmy Nardello in here that looks like it's done. There's like a couple flowers in here, but again, this is coming out. This is coming out. This lavender seems to be done, but I'm not going to pull this because lavender should be a perennial. I'm not sure if it's a perennial here, but we'll see. This beauty may or may not be coming out. My issue with this particular zinnia is it branches so far out this way that it's really hard for me to turn the green stalk. Next year, I'm going to have to figure that out because maneuvering around these green stalks was a bit of a chore. So I'm going to be figuring out what are things that are going to be a little bit more compact in the green stalk, not bushing out so big that I don't have a whole lot of space to maneuver it and move it around. What else is in here? There's a few of the micro dwarfs that have still some green tomatoes on here, so I might try and leave those. That's one of the reasons why I was like, I haven't popped these out of the green stalks yet. It's because of those tomatoes, but most of them seem to be done. So yeah, sometime this week we'll be turning this over. My plan for this is to get some collards and like just more fall plants in this green stalk. So if you want to watch that process, come on back. Make sure you're subscribed to Tisa Living. I like to share this kind of content with y'all, along with my health journey and wellness and my journey to become a mom. So go ahead and subscribe. But yeah, this will get turned over for the next season really quite soon here. There's a couple Jimmy Nardellos here as well. So I'll wait till these ripen. And then over here we have our strawberry green stalk. It never got fully filled out. It has lots and lots of gorgeous flowers, potential strawberries. Some little green ones. And then on this side we have a gorgeous Tulsi plant that is massive. I think when I'm resetting all of the green stalks, I will go ahead and pull these, dry it for tea for the fall. And then last but not least, on the balcony, I'm gonna try and show you this watermelon. We are growing watermelon on this balcony. And she's hard to get to because she's in this like little abyss in the back that is often guarded by spiders, and I let them do the guarding. But let me see if I can get back here first. All right, so down in this little corner is another raspberry bush that I believe is getting munched on at the top by Mr. Squirrel. But down here, we have a watermelon plant that I have actually, let me see if I can get you in closer. Okay, so in here we have our watermelon plant, and I went ahead and covered it in a bag because the squirrel had tried to take a few nibbles, if you can see. So hopefully that doesn't affect the inside because it was just on the kind of outside rind. But I'm super excited about this. Super excited. This is a sugar baby watermelon. There's only one growing here as far as I can see. And that will be my first time growing a watermelon. I do have a couple melons at the community garden that I will also show you when we get over there. But that's that. And then, I don't know if you'll be able to see, but over in that little corner is the asparagus patch. And it is both neglected by me and terrorized by the squirrel. So we will see if it comes back next year and if we can start getting asparagus on it in a couple of years. If it can handle all the neglect, then by golly. All right, I think that that's all for this balcony. Let's head over to the community garden so you can see what's happening over there. All right, friends, we're at the community garden. And let me tell you, this is a mess. This is a mess. This is my honest truth, y'all. My honest truth. The honest truth of gardening. Can you even tell where it begins or where it ends? My gosh. Okay, so we're gonna start here. We have a Prescott Fond melon that is starting to take over my cutesy watermelon, which we do have one down here. If you can see a little bit. But this Prescott Fond has just completely vined out and is taking over everything. Ooh, it's a cricket. And as you can see, there is a melon right there, which is very exciting. It's getting big. And everything else just looks like a mess. We'll do the worst for last. We've got some okra here. I'm going to be harvesting this today. We have the same marigolds that are in the balcony garden is also here, and they are literally massive, taking over this entire thing. More okra. That over there is what okra is this? I actually do not know. I do not remember which varietal that is. This here is the burgundy red. You can see how big that okra got. And mind you, I was just here a couple of days ago, and this was about this big. These get really long, which is cool to see. I'll also be harvesting that. And then we have some Hill Country Red over here that also has fruit on them. These fruit look strange. They kind of get a little curled, which is not what I am experiencing on the balcony garden with my Hill Country Red. And then the catastrophe. These tomatoes have completely fallen over into this other person's bed, and I have to figure out what I'm going to do with them. There are lots of fruits in here though, which is very exciting. I mean, fruits that are on the floor Can you see that? You got fruit down here. You got fruit on the ground. It is horrible. I mean, and it just keeps going. So that's the community garden. It is a bit of a mess. If you want to watch me get this, unmessify this, go ahead and subscribe. If you enjoy this kind of content, go ahead and subscribe. If you like this video, like it down at the bottom. Give me a little comment. Let me know how your garden is going in the mist and the heat of August. I know that across the country, we're getting some really wild weather, but let me know in your neck of the woods what kind of weather you're getting. And with that, friends, I will see you in the next video. Bye.